This thing has reached boiling point. So on screen is Alireza Firouzja. He's 20 years old and making a last minute bid to get into the Candidates Tournament next year. One of the most prestigious chess tournaments that determines the challenger for the World Chess Champion, Ding Liren. Now this tournament in France is into the last leg here. So it's game 6 of 6. Alireza needs to win it. He has to win it. If he draws, then he loses rating points. He'll slip down below Wesley So. What am I talking about here? Well, let's click over here. We can see the live ratings. Number 6 here is Alireza Firouzja. He's just overtaken Wesley So by half a point. Wesley is angry. So are the US Chess Federation because of the circumstances in which Alireza has organised this tournament with other officials in France, etc. The grandmasters he's playing are weaker than him, older than him, so he's farming them, so to speak, playing weaker opponents to steal their rating. But it's created this incredible situation because if Alireza doesn't win, if he even draws, then he slips back down below Wesley. The whole thing will have backfired in the most spectacular fashion. And now jump to Anish Giri's Twitter here because he's been tweeting all afternoon. The game is still ongoing right now, but as he said a couple hours ago, as it started, quite exciting, classy play so far from Fedorchuk. I don't see him losing this game. Scroll up a bit, look at these numbers. Where is Wesley 1, 2, 3 when you need him? Now we can't actually tag Wesley So because Wesley's deleted his Twitter. I forgot to say why Wesley's done that in my video yesterday, and I don't actually know. I'm afraid I don't have the answer there. Maybe someone knows more, right? But his Twitter's gone right now, even though he was really active 2 to 3 days ago. Let's keep going up the page here. So here, 1 hour ago, I liked the first two guys, the other two grandmasters Alireza played, twice each, but I am definitely never inviting Fedorchuk for any farming. Too much class. Makes you sweat from the inside. Okay, read into that one what you will. A4, a great move by Fedorchuk partway through the game. In fact, the whole event is staged to have Fedorchuk cross 25.50 and get a raise in Bundesliga. And finally, 2 minutes ago, I haven't even seen this yet, would I delete my Twitter account if that qualified me to the candidates? Nah, okay. Alright, so that sets the scene. Huge tension here. Let's cut to the game. Can Alireza win despite being worse right now? So Alireza with white, and he kicks off with e4. c5 from Fedorchuk. No Petrov, solid stuff. Very obliging. We get knight f3, e6, d4, an open Sicilian. And now we're moving into the razor sharp Taimanov variation. Queen c7, now bishop e3 and a6. Lots of dark squared weaknesses for black, but you do get dynamic play. The most common move here, queen d2, castles queenside. But Alireza goes for a3, more of a sideline move. We get b5, expanding, and now Alireza chops a pair of knights. Queen recaptures, bishop e2, bishop b7, slightly more modest setup for white, but hang on, queen d2, here comes the castle queenside stuff, let's then attack, but queen d6 is shutting stuff down because these queens are coming off the board. There's just no good way for white to avoid it. So Alireza castles, we get takes, rook recaptures, pawn b4 using that earlier move as a hook, captures, bishop captures, and already on move 13, black doesn't have too many problems here. Nice opening play from Fedorchuk, but can he sustain it? So we see bishop d4, defending the knight on c3, but also eyeing that g7 pawn and then the unprotected rook. So there's no time to take here and then this bishop trying to win a pawn on e4. Instead, the knight develops. Now f3 played to defend the center. We see bishop c6, solid stuff from Fedorchuk. Rook d1, breaking this pin which was on the board. Now castles played and bishop e5 from Alireza. He opens the eyes of his rook on d1. He improves this piece slightly. Rook fc8 coming to that half open c file, x-raying this white monarch. And now Alireza, how do you start mixing things up here? It's not so simple. So he tries knight a2, muddying the waters. The bishop drops all the way back to this developing square. And now, where do you go from here? What kind of plan? Do you start pushing these pawns? Well, maybe, but really, black is the one coming under fire against the white king here, or firing against the white king, I should say, a bit quicker than Alireza. This pawn's coming fast. So instead, bishop d6 was played. It offers piece exchanges. We get king f8, pawn b3, now takes on d6, the rook recaptures, and king e7. The game has been equalised. This is not easy to win. So the rooks double up. Now a5 played, we get king b2, rook c7, nice prophylaxis, just covering this square some more, then preparing a4, knight c3, and a4 on the board. This is the move Giri was referencing on his Twitter. That queen side getting cranked open. We see bishop c4 played, and if you go here, well, it's not a big deal for white. You blockade the pawn with the king, and actually white's doing quite well here. So instead, we see captures, pawn recaptures, more open lines for these powerful cannons that black has got nicely positioned. Rook b7 improves another one, staring again at this pin. King and pawn, I combined them to make pin. Now we get this rook dropping back onto the 4th rank. Knight e8 played, and it's excellent manoeuvring here from Fedorchuk. We get e5, gaining space, clamping on this pawn, but you do open the eyes of the bishop. Rook a5 now targets that weakened pawn. f4, okay, gets a bit drafty. So Alireza, he first goes rook e1. Now knight c7, looking at the weakened d5 square. And after pawn f4, which Alireza now decides to play, yes, you can take this pawn, but then you run into rook g1. And Alireza can capture here. And things are getting a bit complex, etc. So instead, Fedorchuk just keeps a lid on it. He goes knight a8. It's a great move because he's heading for b6 and then pressuring this piece, of course. So bishop d3 anticipates the knight hop. It comes into b6 anyway, and g4. Alireza's got to stir things up on the king side. He is getting beaten there over on the queen side. So knight d5 comes, and it is so tricky. They're down low on time. Alireza's trying to muddy the waters to play for a win here, but what to do? Well, he comes up with knight a2, backpedaling just to keep pieces on the board, but this is miserable. We get pawn h6, pawn h4. They look impressive, but how far can these pawns go? Rook b to a7 played, pressuring the knight. It was covered by the bishop. That is not a beautiful setup, but okay, it does a job for the moment. Now we see rook b7, slides back, bishop d3, rook ba7 back, tantamount to a draw offer by repetition, but of course Alireza can't have that, so he goes knight c1. Now rook b7 back, f5, hang on a minute, is Alireza going to stir it up here? Knight b4 hopping in, bishop b1, is this where Fedorchuk blunders low on time like we saw yesterday? Rook d5 now played, offering an exchange. Again Alireza ducks it, he really needs pieces on the board. Now this rook comes back, rook f4, bishop d5, and here we go. Pawn f6 check. Alireza looking to stir it up over there. King d6 and g5. He's running these pawns here. Can he achieve g6 and then run the f-pawn? Well, rook b8 drops back to anticipate, and Alireza doesn't play it, surprisingly. Was a playable variation. Bishop recaptures. Then you're running this pawn. However, black's got this great move of e5. Picking up a tempo on the rook. You also open the bishop. This one can come here. King's actually free to get involved in certain lines, or here if the pawn pushes. So actually black is still doing well here. So that pawn push, g6, wasn't played, but it was an opportunity. Rook h4 played instead by Alireza. We get knight c6, Bishop c2 covers b3 some more. It's a critical weakness. Now e5 played, excellent move, and it achieves this outpost for the knight on d4. That spelled trouble. Rook d1 from Alireza. Oh boy, look at this evaluation bar. Black is like 3 pawns better now according to the engine, despite level material. Knight d4 centralizes that monster steed. Rook h3 from Alireza supporting the pawn, and look at that on the left. The players agree a draw here. Oh my goodness. This has backfired on Alireza in the most spectacular way. I mean, to be fair to him, not easy just winning 6 games in a row. These are grandmasters, right? And this guy in particular, Fedorchuk, is a serious player. He was like 2600s last year, etc. So I haven't yet done this, but let's jump to the live ratings page. There we can see Alireza at 6, Wesley at 7, but I deliberately didn't refresh the page. Let's go together. We're in this one now, and there you go. Look at that. Wesley So is up to 6th. He's jumped Alireza. He's, good, point and 1.3 ahead now. So he's going to the candidates, as it stands, right? Unless Giri wants to go and farm Gotham chess or something, or unless Alireza arranges a few more games, who knows what could happen. Lenia Dominguez, he decides to go on a big old farming spree, see if he can find a crop. Who knows what the heck's going to happen out here right now. Alireza, I do like the guy, I feel for him in this whole thing, but I don't think it was the right move, him arranging this one. In a way, it's a bit of karma, right? The way it's backfired. But overall, I do like the guy. Hopefully this is a bit of a learning lesson. And ultimately, FIDE need to tighten up on the rules here, so we can avoid this sort of thing in future. Players doing this last-ditch effort, sort of private, short-notice advanced tournaments. That's my tuppence on it. And one final thought. Who remembers this, of course, that FIDE said recently? Can you imagine then if they decided not to rate this event? That wouldn't actually matter, to be fair, because Wesley's now going to qualify. Either way, Alireza is below him on rating, barring anything really weird. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below as always, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.